Okay, so you sent us this article, and it really caught our attention.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It's all about SaaS positioning, right?
Exactly. And I think it's something that a lot of SaaS businesses maybe don't give enough attention to.
Right, it can kind of get lost in the shuffle when you're so focused on product development and marketing and all those other things.
For sure, but if your positioning isn't spot on, it can really undermine all those other efforts.
Totally. So let's dive into this deep dive and unpack what this article by Harsh from Minute Creative has to offer.
He really lays out these 5 red flags that are like these clear warning signs that your sauce positioning might need some serious work.
And that's what we're going to try to help you figure out today, if any of these red flags apply to you, and more importantly, what you can do about it.
The good news is you don't need to like scrap everything and start from scrap. It's not about like a massive rebranding exercise. It's more about identifying those key areas where you might need to make some adjustments.
So red flag number one, and this one really resonated with me. If your ideal customers don't immediately get what it is you do, that's a major problem.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. You've got like, what, 7 seconds to make a first impression online?
Oh yeah, less than that probably.
Right, exactly. So if someone lands on your website and they can't figure out what you offer and who you offer it to, within those first few seconds, they're gone.
They're on to the next thing.
And it's not just about losing their attention. It also means you might be attracting the wrong kind of attention.
Right, like people who aren't actually a good fit for your product.
The article gives this great example of what bad positioning looks like. I'm just going to read it here. We optimize workflows to streamline operations and maximize efficiency.
Ugh, it hurts. It hurts to even hear it. It's just so generic and vague.
It's like every software company ever.
Right, it doesn't tell you anything specific about who they help or what problem they solve.
Exactly. And that's the key takeaway here. You need to be crystal clear about who your ideal customer is and what specific problem you're solving for them.
And you need to communicate that immediately, like in the hero section of your website. That's that prime real estate at the top of the page.
Right, that first thing people see, you got to nail it.
And the article gives a really good example of what good positioning looks like. AI-powered sales intelligence that auto-ingests leads and personalizes outreach, so your SDRs can book more meetings faster.
So much better, right?
Way better, because you know exactly who they're targeting: SDRs, sales development representative.
You know what they do? AI-powered sales intelligence.
And, you know, the benefit: more meetings booked faster. It's specific, it's outcome-oriented, and it speaks directly to a pain point that SDRs feel every single day.
Yeah, and that's a great way to kind of like gut check your own website.
For sure.
Go to your homepage and see if it passes that 7-second test. Can someone immediately understand what you do and who you do it for?
If not, it might be time for a little revamp.
All right, so red flag number 2 is all about differentiation, or rather the lack thereof. Harsh calls it being seen as just another tool.
Ouch.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the commodity option.
Right. You don't want to blend in. You want to stand out.
And if you're not differentiating yourself, you're basically giving potential customers no reason to choose you over the competition.
The article has some really good bad positioning examples here, like, we're an AI-powered CRM.
Okay, but who isn't these days?
Seriously, every CRM is throwing around AI like it's going out of style.
Exactly. Or how about this one? The best project management tool.
Oh yeah, the best, according to who?
Right? What makes you the best? What are you measuring?
You need specifics. You need to back up those claims.
The solution here, according to Harsh, is to own a category POV. Basically, you want to define a new category or a niche that you can dominate.
It's like, instead of saying we're a project management tool, you say we're the first project management tool designed specifically for remote teams.
Right, or we're the only AI-powered CRM built for e-commerce businesses.
You're staking your claim. You're saying this is our territory. This is what we do better than anyone else.
And then you can really emphasize those features and benefits that make you unique within that category.
So think about it. What is your unique angle? What's your niche? How are you different from all those other tools out there?
Okay, red flag number 3. This one is all about attract of the wrong customers.
This is painful.
This is where you see those low-quality leads who are never going to buy.
The customers who churn out after a month.
And just like a constant stream of time-wasting inquiries from people who are clearly not a good fit.
It's exhausting, and it's a huge drain on your resources.
So Harsh's advice here is to actually define your anti-ICP, your anti-ideal customer profile.
That's a really interesting concept. It's like, instead of just focusing on who you want to attract, you're also thinking about who you want to repel.
It's so smart because it forces you to be really clear about your ideal customer.
And then you can tailor your messaging to really target those people and actually discourage those who aren't a good fit.
The article gives a good example. Instead of saying something generic like built for all businesses, you could say built for scaling SaaS teams doing 50K to 500K in MRR.
Right, that immediately narrows down your target audience and weeds out those who aren't a good fit.
So take a look at your current customer base. Are you seeing a lot of churn? Are you getting a lot of unqualified leads?
If so, it might be time to revisit your ICP and your anti-ICP and make sure your messaging is aligned.
All right, red flag number 4. This one's all about urgency, or rather, the lack of it. You have a weak why now argument.
So if your sauce feels like a nice to have rather than a must have, you're going to struggle to close deals.
Because people are going to procrastinate. They're going to say, yeah, we need this, but we can put it off for a few months.
Or they're going to go with a competitor who's doing a better job of communicating urgency.
The article gives us a perfect example of bad positioning. We help teams collaborate better.
Okay, but why do I need that right now?
Right. Collaboration is great, but it doesn't scream urgency.
The fix here is to tie your positioning to a current trend or challenge that's happening in the market. You got to create that sense of urgency by showing people why they need your solution now, not later.
Here's a great example. With outbound email response rates dropping 40% in the last 12 months, teams using AI-driven personalization book 2x more meetings. Here's how.
Whoa, that's powerful.
Right. It's data-driven, it highlights a problem, and it offers a solution.
It makes you think, oh crap, email response rates are tanking. I need to do something about this now.
So what's the urgent trend or challenge that your SaaS addresses? What's the reason why people need to act now?
Figure that out and weave it into your positioning.
Okay, red flag number 5. This one can be really frustrating. Your close rates are low even when you're getting demos.
So you're getting people interested enough to check out your product, but they're not converting into paying customers.
What's going wrong?
Well, the article suggests it could be a few things. Maybe your messaging isn't resonating. Maybe you're not framing the problem effectively.
Or maybe you're not doing enough to differentiate yourself from the competition.
Right. So the solution here is to really focus on repositioning the problem.
Make the pain points crystal clear. Make the consequences of inaction tangible. And then position your SAW as the obvious solution.
Don't just talk about features, talk about the problems those features solve and the negative outcomes people can avoid by using your product.
The article gives this great example. Without AI-driven outreach, your SDRs are wasting 10+ hours a week, personalizing emails, manually costing you $100K plus in lost pipeline.
Wow, that's a real gut punch.
Right? It quantifies a problem in terms of time and money, and it makes you think, I can't afford to keep doing things the old way.
So if you're seeing a drop-off between demos and closed deals, it might be time to rethink how you're framing the problem and positioning your solution.
Now here's the good news. If any of these red flags resonate with you, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to do a complete overhaul of your brand.
That's right.
Often the biggest improvements can come from focusing on your homepage.
Right. Make sure it's clear, concise, and compelling. Make sure it communicates your value proposition in those first few seconds. Make sure it's targeted at your ideal customer.
And don't be afraid to revisit your positioning regularly. The market is constantly changing, your competitors are evolving, and your ideal customers' needs are shifting.
So stay agile, stay adaptable, and always be willing to tweak and refine your positioning to stay ahead of the curve.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, really think about your homepage. Does it clearly and urgently communicate the unique value you provide to your ideal customer?
What's one small change you could make today based on these red flags that could have a big impact on your business?
It doesn't have to be a massive undertaking. Sometimes those small tweaks can make all the difference.
And that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for sharing this great article with us. We hope this has given you some valuable insights into SaaS positioning.
And remember, if you're struggling with your positioning, you're not alone. It's a common challenge, but it's one that you can overcome with a little bit of effort and some strategic thinking.
So keep experimenting, keep iterating, and keep pushing forward.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you then.